Hi there. Thanks for watching this short video to help you decide whether you're going to do the peer group or workshop model of one of our universal design badges. My name is Lisa Padden and I'm the Programme Manager for UCD's University for All initiative, which is our whole institution approach to access and inclusion. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through a short presentation to hopefully help you to decide what way you'd like to engage with one of our universal design badges. And we're delighted you're being offered a rollout or multiple rollouts so that you can make that decision. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk you through the course criteria for both badges, just to show you what they are and to give you an idea as to what will be covered. Just very briefly, the criteria for our Universal Design and Teaching and Learning badge, first of all. So for those of you who are teaching as part of your role, you may be choosing to do this badge. This badge has been around since about 2017. It's been redeveloped a couple of times, and actually we're just about to launch another redevelopment of it to make sure that all the content is as current and up to date as possible. There are over 3,000 recipients of this digital badge so far across Irish higher and further education. So as part of the Universal Design Teaching and Learning course, you'll be asked to reflect on the diversity of the students in your institution. You will, of course, gain a good understanding of the Universal Design for Learning framework and how it supports our diverse learners. You will deepen your understanding of UDL through peer engagement, and we'll talk a bit about that, whether it's the peer group model or the workshop model. You'll be asked to redesign some elements of your teaching and learning practice based on the UDL principles. So it's done during the 10 weeks of the digital badge. And then you'll be asked to consider how you're going to change your practice more broadly in line with that Universal Design for Learning approach. The second badge, as I said, is for those who are working beyond the classroom. So for those working in student supports and services, for example, you may be choosing to do the Universal Design Beyond Classroom badge. So course criteria are somewhat similar for this badge, but obviously the context is different and the materials are completely different in the two badges, I should say. So you will be able to explain the current context in relation to universal design in tertiary education upon completion of the badge. And again, you're reflecting on the diversity of your student population. You'll be able to explain and demonstrate your understanding of the key areas of accessibility legislation within education, and again, within that broader universal design context. You'll evaluate the diverse needs of your learners. So think about how the circumstances of a student can impact on their educational experience. We ask you to reflect on how you might remove barriers that you've identified for students through a universal design approach. And of course, you will be asked to apply the principles of universal design to your own practice. So again, there's a redesign that will ask you to complete in your own context within the 10 weeks of the badge rollout. So the key elements of the badge, and it's in similar structure across both, we have interactive online modules. So that's where you're introduced to Universal Design for Learning. That's where you do your core learning in terms of what is UDL, how does it work, and what does it mean in my context. And we provide a number of resources through those online modules. There are online webinars that will provide you with information. So there might be recorded videos or live webinars. You might have a welcome session and drop-in sessions throughout, and all the information about those will be provided to you by your local facilitator. You'll either do peer group engagement or a workshop. So the peer groups we'll talk about in just a minute happen kind of throughout the 10 weeks, and the workshop is a one-off event, and then you'll do your redesign activity. So that applies regardless of which badge you're doing. Okay, so the peer group model. This is the model that we use in national rollouts of the badge, but it's also used in quite a few local rollouts as well. You'll be put into a group of maybe 4 to 5 participants, and it really depends on the context. So it might be as few as 3, it might be as many as 6. It depends on how many participants sign up. You will agree with the other people in your peer group on the meeting dates and the methods of communication. So we give you suggested dates, but you have flexibility within your peer group to decide on those. So you can come to an agreement, whether you're using Doodle poll or just in a live meeting or whatever it might be, or across emails. You're going to decide on dates that suit everybody within the group. And your methods of communication. So whether that's going to be kind of emailing or a WhatsApp group or whatever it is, again, that's really, we encourage you to do what's going to suit your group best. In terms of the engagement then, it's important that you do engage with the meetings when they come up. Obviously things might happen, you may miss one of the 4 meetings that we suggest, but it's really important that you engage, not only for your own experience, but obviously for the experience of the other people in your peer group as well. We give you discussion points, so to help you prepare for each of those 4 meetings, there are some short things, kind of points for you to think about in advance, or we might ask you to do a really little piece of research around, for example, the diversity of the students in your university to see, can you find something? Is there any information available on the diversity? Do you know, for example, how many students with disabilities are in your programs, things like that. There are 4 meetings that we suggest, as I said, throughout the 10 weeks. And we give you the dates, but they're flexible, and you verify each other's participation at the end using a very simple form. So that's the peer group model. It's a great model in terms of staying engaged throughout. As you know, with online courses, and the modules are online, it can be difficult for participants to stay engaged throughout and motivated throughout. So the peer group really helps with that in terms of having accountability towards others, in terms of your participation and engagement as well. So that's the peer group model. The second option is the workshop model. So this is a one-off workshop that will happen about halfway through your rollout. The date is agreed in advance. So your facilitator may have set the date already, or they might kind of do a poll and decide across all those who want to do the workshop in terms of what date the workshop will happen. Attendance at this one-off workshop is necessary to receive the badge, just like engagement with the peer groups is necessary to receive the badge. And again, there's some workshop preparation, which is that we would expect that you'd have completed your online modules and a reflection piece before you attend the workshop, if possible. So the purpose of the workshop really is interactive. It's group exercises, there's scenarios, discussion points. It's not necessarily the kind of didactic piece around giving you that information around what is UDL and what is the framework. It's much more around like, how is it applied? What's the context? What does it look like for me? So that kind of preparation piece is necessary in terms of coming with some kind of base level knowledge as to what UDL is. And in this model, your facilitator will verify your participation. So not your peer group as it is in the other one. So the workshop model can work well if you know you're going to struggle to engage with peer group meeting times, for example, at the beginning or end. If you know you're going to be available for the date that's set halfway through the rollout. So it can work well for that. It's also a nice kind of way to have that lengthy period of time with multiple colleagues in the room where you can really dig into some of the issues around universal design, inclusion, accessibility, and ask lots of questions and learn from each other in that context. So obviously it's a bigger group than just your peer group could be. So how should you choose between them? Well, obviously think about your own time and your availability. And then your preferred methods of engagement. Maybe you prefer something that's one-off. Maybe you know that to stay engaged, that kind of 4 meetings throughout would work well for you. And then you can have your communication methods around email and what's going to work well on that. So have a think about which is going to work for you. It's great that you have the choice to make in terms of the different rollouts that are available. And if you have any questions, you can email your faculty partner and you can get information as to who that is on our website, or email universityforall@ucd.ie, which will get you me or one of my colleagues on the University for All team. And we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about the models, about the rollouts, about the availability, things like that. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoy the digital badge that you take this trimester.